Hi there. This is going to be a cleansing practice, and we're going to do some cleansing breath as well as some cleansing postures. Twisting poses can help us encourage our digestive process as well as help us encourage the liver and kidneys to detox and just provide like a really yummy massage for our organs. So grab a little bit of a Kleenex. Come to Sukhasana. So cross-legged, comfortable pose. Gosh, come on, words. All right, come into Sukhasana and blow your nose. So we are going to start with Kapalabhati breath. This is sometimes known as shining skull breath. You're really going to want to have an elongated spine. So laying down is not ideal. I really encourage you to sit up here in Sukhasana. Place your hands palm down on your knees. So this breath is a really quick, successive push out of oxygen. Quick suck in, push out, quick suck in, push out. So it's kind of like, and it's all through the nose. Sometimes with the vigorousness of the push out, you end up kind of coming forward. So that's why you really want to have your hands on your knees to create a bit of a kickstand to keep your chest upright as we do this practice. So this is Kapalabhati breath, is an energetic breath, it's a cleansing breath, it's a heating breath. So this is really starting to get into our abdomen, move air in our lungs, and warm us up for our practice today. So go ahead and do this at a pace that feels comfortable in your body. I have a tendency to start a little bit fast and then slow down, so you might notice that in my pacing. But just do it at your own pace. And if this is your first time, you might want to watch this. First time, we're going to do 2 rounds of this. Okay, ready? Let that breath go. Take a few normal cycles of breath and observe the heat that just got generated in the body. I've got heat coming in through my nostrils and my sinus area. I've got heat in my belly growing. Get ready for round 2. Inhale. Breathe normally. Start to roll out your wrists as you return to a natural breath. Go in both directions. Once you've gone in both directions, do something that I like to call flash hands. So it's like dance hands, tiny fist, dance hands. But really just kind of do that as fast as you can, and it ends up feeling weird. But it's just like a really, really nice active warm up and stretch for our fingers and our wrists. So we're going to be coming into side crow today as our peak pose. And so warming up our wrists is going to be really, really important as we move into our hand balance. Okay, awesome. Inhale. Arms overhead, left arm drops outside of right knee, right arm drops behind you. Inhale again. Exhale, twist. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to twist a little bit more. Inhale, arms up. Whoa. Lengthen. Right hand drops to left knee. Left hand drops behind you as you exhale. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to twist. If it feels comfortable for your neck, go ahead and look over your left shoulder. If not, no worries. Inhale up one more time. Awesome. Reach your fingertips out to the right. Stretch your left arm overhead. Now plug that left hip to the ground. Really lengthen out the side stretch. Then inhale, lengthen. Exhale, drop your left hand and rotate your chest to face the right side of the room. Gentle twist. Inhale, come back to the side stretch. Exhale, upright, float over to your left. Left hand reaches out, right hand floats overhead. Plug your right hip to the ground. Oh, and reach out through your beautiful long fingertips. Create a lovely line. Inhale to lengthen, send your navel back into your spine and rotate your chest towards the ground. Drop your right hand. Inhale to lengthen, exhale, twist. Inhale, rise back up. Come to a standing position at the front of your mat. Well, it can be the front or it can be the long edge, whatever. Move your pillows off to the side, move your tissue off to the side. Come to the stand into Tadasana. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, drop your arms to shoulder height and twist to the right. Keep, if you can, your hip points pointing forward as you twist to the right. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, twist to the left. Reach out through your fingertips. Inhale up, exhale, twist to the right. Inhale up, exhale to the left. Inhale up. Okay, let's get into some vinyasa. We're going to start with modified sun salutations to warm up the body, and then we will get more into our activation. Inhale, arms overhead. Take a moment here in this position to ensure your feet are parallel and hips distance apart. Your hands are really extending that exact same line of your legs. So you're rooting into your feet as much as you're reaching up with your fingertips. Inhale for length. Exhale, hinge forward at the hips. Bend your knees, especially if you have super tight hamstrings like yours truly. Anyways, let's hang here in your forward fold. Real gentle. Maybe wiggle your hips. Push into your feet and your fingertips if they're reaching the ground. If not, no big deal. Inhale, lengthen to your halfway lift. Stretch out through the crown of your head and create as much length as you can in between your tailbone and your, I was going to say roof of your head, the top of your head. Lovely. Exhale, forward fold. Place your hands on the ground and step back actually into a tabletop pose. From here, roll your palms up off the ground. okay? This is, another really lovely active stretch, warming up our hands, preparing for hand balances. When you do this, plug your index fingers into the ground, okay? It is possible to sprain your palm. I know, crazy, right? Okay, let's finish out here in this pose with a few free form, free breath, cat cows, just warming up the spine in extension and flexion. Okay, dig your wee little toes in and push back up to your downward facing dog. Now remember, downward facing dog is a position that is about extending your spine. So it is more important to have length in the front of your pose than it is to have length. Hold on, how do you do it? Yeah, here we go. To have length in the back of your pose. So bend those knees. Straighten, lengthen, beautiful spine. Plug your index finger into the ground. Wrap your biceps next to your ears and squeeze. Now, once you have this height with your hips, then start to let your heels drop towards the ground. Downward facing dog is actually a hand balancing pose. Funny, huh? Beautiful stretching through the body. Nice and deep, long cycles of breath as we stretch out our hamstrings and warm up our shoulders. Inhale, lengthen through all four sides of your waist. Shift your weight forward over your hands. Step to the top of your mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, forward fold, bend your knees, root into your feet, hands to hips. Inhale, rise to Tadasana. Nice and slowly. Sun salutation 1. Let's go for another round. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hinge forward at the hips, forward fold. Inhale, stretch out to a number 7 with your body. Stretch through all four sides of your waist. Suck your tummy in. Come back to low plank. In low plank, really nestle your shoulder blades onto your back. Squeeze your inner thighs and outer hips together to hold the weight of your pelvis. Exhale, lower gently to the ground. Inhale, Sphinx pose. Elbows directly under shoulders, rooting, pushing down through your whole forearm. Shine your heart forward. Legs are pushing into the ground. Exhale, deep core work. Squeeze your legs, engage your core, lift your hips off of the ground, flip your feet, and walk forward to a walking puppy. That's what I like to call it. Engage your core, climb back up onto your hands, and walk your feet forward. Inhaling into a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root your feet into the floor. Bend your knees, hands to hips. Rise up to Tadasana. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift to prepare. Exhale, low plank again. hold. 1, you're beautiful. 2, you are unique and special. 3, you showed up for you today. 4, I swear I'm not a sadist. 5, exhale, lower gently to the ground. Inhale, Sphinx, press into your forearms, shine your heart forward. And now just look over the tip of your toes. Don't drop your head back. Makes it hard to breathe. Inhale, exhale. This time tuck your toes, lift your hips back up to low plank, hike them higher, walk your feet in, crawl to your hands, walk to the top of your mat, inhale, halfway lift, exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees, root into your feet, hands to hips, rise slowly to Tadasana. Step to the long edge of your mat. Raise your arms out to the side and sit low. So imagine here that you're trying to fit in between 2 panes of glass. You might have heard someone say that to you when you're in maybe Trikonasana before. But what that means is pull your knees back as you send your hips forward. Now, I can kind of do that. I just got to play, back and forth with those 2 actions. But what I find difficult is keeping this big old torso stacked under my hips. So really put your hands on your hips if you need to. Stack up, align your knees, and just forget how long you've been sitting in this pose. Oh, breathe deeply. Oh, bring the energy up through your feet, all the way through your body, radiating out through your fingertips. Inhale and rise. Beautiful. Okay. We're going to do some low lunges. I have some sore knees, so I'm going to grab a pillow. If you need to as well, go for it. Okay. Top of your mat. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Reconnect to your breath, people. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step your right foot back and gently lower your knee to the ground and find a low lunge. Check in with your hips and your feet. Really pay attention to your alignment. Knee over ankle, hips parallel, even, hip over knee. Inhale, arms overhead. Interlace your fingers. Reach up through the tops of your fingertips. Bring your hands down to prayer position. Inhale for length. Exhale, twist to your side. Do not hook yet. Inhale for length. Exhale, hook now with your elbow. Inhale for length. Exhale, push your hands together. Create length in your side body and twist. Inhale, arms overhead, hands on either side of your foot. Step back to downward facing dog. By now, your hamstrings should be really nice and warm. So you should hopefully be creating that beautiful line down your spine, as well now down through the back of your legs. Inhale, shift your weight forward, right foot forward, left knee gently drops, arms overhead, switch your interlace, low lunge. Gosh, that just feels good. Inhale for length. Exhale, twist to the right. Don't hook. Inhale, length. Exhale, hook, elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, find space in your side body and twist. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, Vinyasa. Move your pillow if you need to. Use your knees if you prefer. Baby cobra or up dog. And we will all meet in downward facing dog. Inhale, shift your weight forward, step or jump to the top of your mat to a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, root your feet into the ground, rise up slowly and strongly to Tadasana. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step your right foot back. Stay high on the ball of your foot. Root into the ground with your feet. Squeeze your legs together and rise up to a high lunge. Again, hips are neutral parallel. So if you're kind of struggling with that, bend your back knee, parallel up your hips, and then straighten your leg. This helps you stay low too. Okay, lovely. High lunge. Inhale for length. Exhale, twist to the left and hook your elbow. Inhale, length. Exhale, squeeze your hands together and twist. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, hands to ground. Flow through your vinyasa or step back to downward facing dog. We will all meet together in downward facing dog for a few cycles of breath. Remember, root through your index finger as you squeeze the air in between your ears and your biceps. Inhale, shift your weight forward, right foot in between your hands, ground into your feet, navel to spine, rise up, high lunge. Check in with those hips. Get nice and low. Inhale for length. Exhale, twist and place elbow. Inhale, length. Press your hands together. Exhale, twist. Pull that left hip away from the ground. It has a tendency to slide. Nice, even neutral hips. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, hands down. Knees to ground. And just take a child's pose. Okay, so, gosh, I generated a lot of heat in the body. Okay, so we are going to move into our peak pose, but we are going to do stages. So this is really important if, one, you've never done this peak pose and you're working to build strength over time to be able to get into the pose safely. But also, two, you might be working with an injury. So I'm kind of working with a bit of a shoulder and a hand injury. I've stayed away from hand balances for a really long time. So today's kind of exciting for me to see how well these guys have healed up. But along that vein, because I haven't been able to do hand balances for like a month, it's important to see steps along the way so you can modify your practice to meet your body where it is at any moment, not push. So first, ab work. Okay, so everyone come to Navasana and just keep your toes kind of at the same level as your eyes. Squinch, 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 squinch. Okay, that was just to torture you. So place your feet on the ground. I really like to use a block. So you don't have to use a block, but grab a block if you want to. Place it in between your inner thighs. Okay? Squeeze. Hands to heart center. Inhale for length. Exhale, twist to your left. Look familiar? Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hook elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Inhale, separate hands, mimic 4. Exhale, twist. So you can see, this is side crow. Kind of neat, isn't it? So just to feel this pose in your body, it feels awesome. Kind of, for me, aligns my sensory proprioception when I'm not as. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, twist to your right. Inhale, lengthen, hook your elbow. Exhale, press your hands together, twist to the right. Inhale, lengthen. So, as I was saying, inhale, open your hands, exhale. Envision yourself hand balancing in side crow. So as I was saying, it's just nice to get the feeling of the pose in your body before you're worried that you're going to fall flat on your face. So you know what you're working towards. All right, inhale to lengthen, exhale, come back to center. So one cool thing about that variation is doing it up against a wall even more simulates the pose. So what you would do is you would, there we go. This is all about alignment. You would send as much pressure into your hands as you are into this block. So that's why I like to use the block. I have to do the other side, I'm sorry. That's why I like to use the block in my thighs, because when you're actually doing the hand balance, the adduction in your legs is squeezing, it's crazy. And so to really simulate the experience of the pose and get my body, able to sense, what I'm about to ask of it, in a more frightening sense, like falling on my face, again, the pressure of the wall and the pressure of the block against the leg. It's just beautiful. Honestly, that is so freaking hard. It's kind of like all those prep poses for handstand. It's like harder than handstand, right? Okay, so side crow. Modification 1 and 2, one on your mat, second one is at the wall. So that is completely non-weight bearing. So now we're going to move into a few more weight bearing options. So first I'm going to show how I like to set up the pose before I actually do this modification. So this is like any hand balancing pose. Place your hands on the ground, spread your fingers nice and wide, grip in there, and you're looking for that, shelf, right? This elbow, I'm going to this side going to this side, is free. So what you see sometimes in videos is people talking about like the cheat option. It's not cheating to protect your body, by the way, but what they mean is, they're using both elbows. Just envision my feet are off the ground. Both elbows to support their weight. Ow! Cool, my shoulder's tweaking. The true intention of the pose is that this right hand is free, that you only have the left elbow here. Okay, so same thing other side, just so you can see. Okay, one elbow, classic version. Two elbows. I can't do the two elbows. Two elbows, more supported version. But what I really prefer to do is to skip the two elbows, right? If the second elbow isn't supposed to be there, don't even put it there. Find another way to support yourself. So remember, I've got a shoulder thing going on. So whatever I end up doing right here with my right arm, just forgive that. But this modification for side crow is again at the wall, okay? Come to the wall. Come into a halfway lift position. Really, really lengthen all four sides of the waist. Walk your hands to the right. So this line of my left, or the right side of my foot, my left hand is outside of it. Okay. Drop your hips. Create a shelf. I'm going to go fist. Okay. Create a shelf with your left elbow. Really root that left hand into the ground, and then use the wall. Push into the wall with your feet. That feels so unsafe. Okay, so my right hand is not ready for that biz. And of course, I'm about to do it on my right hand because I'm that kind of crazy person. So I'm really only doing this to keep the sides of my body even. I really am not going to do a lot of weight bearing, but I can, again, get the sense of the pose. So without putting my actual weight onto my right hand, I'll just tap the wall. Oh my God, this is so hard. Okay. Whew. So that's modification 2. Didn't look great, I'll be honest. I hear you. Modification 3 is using blocks. So this really helps overcome that fear of falling on your face. So, well, okay, maybe it doesn't help you overcome the fear, but it is a way to move towards the classic expression of the pose. Okay, so the whole point of this one, remember this right arm, free floating, is to support it. So these blocks actually go under your shoulder. I know, it's kind of crazy. And then you put your legs on top. So that is not the way that you actually get into the pose. The way you get into the pose is actually the way you get into the pose. So, okay. Move this forward. Awesome. Crushed it. So, I'm not going to do that on this other side because of the weight bearing. But again, like I'm getting a crazy workout. So, just go after it. Right hand outside of left foot. Bend the knees. Okay. And then I'm just going to try and kind of just do maybe a push up here. Actually, maybe what I can do is do something like, okay, lower, lower, lower. Fuck. Okay. Awesome. So, I swear I have a video of me doing this and I didn't have a wrist injury. Let's see if I can find that. Okay. Time for integration. So, we have done a lot of lovely twisting in the body, really stretching out through the sideways. So let's just close with just some gentle back bending. Place your hands on your lower back. Squeeze your elbows together. And imagine that there is a pane of glass in front of your thighs. Push your thighs into the pane of glass. Shine your heart to the sky. Push your thighs. Shine your heart. If you get to this place where you're starting to dip back, release your hands from your back. Grab around the base of your foot, the Achilles tendon. Send your thighs forward. Shine your chest bright. Engage your core. Let go of one foot, the other. Protect your back. You're really squeezing through there. Awesome. Come to sit. Extend both feet out in front of you. Find Dandasana. Inhale. Lengthen out through the bottom of your feet. Dorsal flexion. Take your peace fingers. Wrap them around your big toes. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to hinge forward. Do not drop your head. Do not round your back. You have a beautiful long spine, and you are simply closing the angle between the line of the ground and your legs and the line from your tailbone to the crown of your head. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, draw your left foot into right foot into your left thigh. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen, stretch your right foot out in front of you. Bring your left foot into your thigh. Squeeze your left foot against your right foot. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Come to lie down on your back. Gently, one vertebrae at a time. Bring your heels pretty close to your tush. Engage your core, squeeze your thighs together, lift up into a bridge, clasp your hands, wiggle your shoulders underneath you. Root your feet into the ground. And take a few deep, slow cycles of breath. Really push into the back of your head to create space in the front of your throat to keep a nice, deep, even, steady cycle of breathing. Squeeze your glutes, lift your pelvis. Squeeze your legs together, engage your hammies. Inhale, lift a little bit more. Exhale, slowly, gently release your hands, unwiggle your shoulders, and roll your vertebrae down to the ground. Bring your knees to chest. Give yourself a little hug. You want to roll side to side, roll out your lower back, kind of massage it. By all means, just take a few moments here to either maybe do one final twist for the body, if that's what you need. Perhaps the happy baby, if that's what you need. Oh, sorry, lost an earbud. Yeah, here we go. Happy baby. Or, maybe a figure four, thread the needle on either side. But just do those final little stretches. And then we will all meet in our Shavasana pose, corpse pose. I don't love that, but that word corpse, I like Shavasana. So prop your body, okay? You can do a bolster under your knees. You could do 2 blocks under your thighs. Both of those props help your lower back. You could put a pillow underneath your head if your neck is feeling maybe a little fatigued. You could put a bolster, actually, that might be kind of cool, in between your shoulder blades to just provide a little bit more gentle, restorative heart opening. You could put a blanket over your whole body. But when you get there, let go. Let your bones start to melt into the floor. Allow every part of your body absorb the energy, vitality that you just stirred up, unblocked, let freely flow within your body. Gently roll to the side and take just a moment to resettle your equilibrium. And then gently rise up to a seated position. I suggest finding the same position that you found at the beginning of this practice, as we are going to close with 2 more cycles of Kapalabhati breathing, just as we did in the beginning. If you can remember how you crossed your legs in the beginning, do the opposite crossing. If you can't, doesn't matter. Place your hands palm down on your knees. Create a little bit of tension as you send your belly button towards your spine, your floating ribs into your spine. Then you widen your collarbones, shrugging your shoulder blades down your back, lifting your head up through the tops of your ears. Let's take an inhale together. Breathe normally. Start. Let it go. Return to a normal cycle of breath. Bring your hands to heart center and gently bow your head. The time and mindfulness that you spent on your Kapalabhati breath, as well as all of these twisting postures, has helped aid your digestive process, the detoxifying process in your kidneys and your liver, and generally just spread awesome juju throughout your well-being. Now, it's a big deal that you showed up and worked so hard today. Thank you for being present. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your space. Namaste.